So most of the time, designs are not supposed to fail because it exposes the underlying mechanism of how it works, and it's not always pretty. And the failure takes us beyond assumptions and brings us to the place that we don't know. So let me talk about what we know and what we don't know in the context of graphic design. Most of my earlier projects had been designing a system from internet banking to cell phone user interface to brand identity systems. But after working on this project a few years, and what I realized was that the sole purpose of these designs were only to generate revenue. So therefore, I felt designs that motivated by monetization constrains creativity. Where's the room for misfits, the crazy ideas, or something we haven't explored yet? So a few years back, I started a journey to expand my vocabulary beyond graphic design. And first was to begin initiating art projects, investigating the notion of graceful failure in various ways, or to criticize the standardized way of doing. And second is to take part in research projects at the Sensible City Lab at MIT into real-time urban systems and data-driven city-scale urban interventions. And lastly, it was starting a community organization in Brooklyn named HWF with my colleagues, supporting independent grassroots art practice through curating shows and hosting workshops. So these three efforts are to reach beyond known in my design practice. So now, let me share with you a project that shows how a design process could lead to discovering yet unknown values. It was a collaboration with my friends at the Green Isle, a Berlin-based design studio. And the project was to design the identity system for the MIT Media Lab. From the beginning of the project, two designers, Richard Tay and I, already knew that because of this diverse nature of collaboration and possibilities, it is almost impossible to have a single shape to represent the lab. So instead of having a fixed logo, we worked the other way around and designed an algorithm with a few simple principles. It is 3 dots representing the people in the lab, and there are 3 cones representing each of their vision. And they overlap, creating unique individualized shapes each and every time it renders. So by freeing the shape from the designer's aesthetic control, we create an extreme diversity through an open system. The designed algorithm will create 40,000 unique shapes, and the idea was to give unique shape and color to each and every person in the lab, and we can continue to do so for the next 25 years. So as a result of this open-ended design process, we were able to give logos to the people at the Media Lab, not to the institution. The institution's identity would simply be a collection of individuals. It is almost an opposite of what it usually is, to give an identity to the institution and people inside be subsumed by it. So that was precisely the message that we created, celebrating people over the institution. It is a place where people from all kinds of different backgrounds come together and collaborate, and that's where I see the power of the unknown possibilities. And that is also what I'm trying to accomplish with my design practice, to design open systems and platforms that celebrates the unknown and failure and seek for underexplored values beyond monetization within the system that we all live in. Thank you.